Welcome to the Autism in Black podcast, where we focus on all things autism and the Black parent experience. Our goal is to always educate, support, and empower parents to advocate for not only their children, but themselves. Hello, and welcome to the Autism in Black podcast. I'm Maria Davis-Pierre, a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida and America's #1 autism advocate for Black parents. I'm the founder and CEO of Autism in Black, Inc., where we aim to include the excluded. Today, we have Dr. Pierre, who is a board-certified internal medicine physician, the owner of PP5 Marketing, and my husband. Today, you will be listening to an episode that we actually recorded for Dr. Barry's podcast, Lunch and Learn with Dr. Barry. We are talking about the 3rd annual Autism in Black virtual conference that is happening April 28th through the 30th of 2023. We will be discussing our speakers, some of the topics, as well as the 3 different ticket options that you can secure. Make sure if you haven't secured your ticket yet to our 3rd annual conference that you click the link in the show notes and secure your ticket so that you can join us April 28th through the 30th. Enjoy today's episode.
All right, welcome to another episode of Medicine Mondays. I have a beautiful special guest here, and normally I'm able to kind of say some pet names, but I'm going to keep it super official for this episode here. We have the CEO of Autism Black, Maria Davis-Pierre, and she's going to be talking to us about this year's Autism Black conference. If the voice sounds familiar, especially if you're one of my Lunch and Learn podcast listeners, she is the voice who has been introing me ever since day one. And I'm just so glad that I'm able to kind of just step in the background. I tell people all the time, they don't believe me, because they figure, hey, he's Dr. Maria Pierre. They see me on social media. I am second fiddle in this house when it comes to celebrity power, right? So Maria, first of all, thank you for joining again. I think she's probably the most featured guest on here, obviously. Thank you for joining again the Lunch and Learn, and more importantly, Medicine Mondays. We're yours truly.
Thank you for having me. I love every time I get to have a chance to come on here and speak to the community.
So I think first and foremost, I would be remiss. And again, I kind of dropped a hint. This is a promo run that needs to be a promo run, right? And we are talking about what, again, I'm biased, probably the best conference to attend in the year 2023. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Autism Black Conference, year 2023, and let's bring it home.
Let's get into it. You've already set the standards high with it's the best conference out there. So let's get into it.
So I think for the audience who maybe this is their first time watching or listening to me, give them a kind of an idea or just a little bit of background of, first of all, who you are, and more importantly, what is the Autism in Black Conference?
Sure. So I am Maria Davis-Pierre. I am a licensed mental health counselor. I am the spouse to Dr. Barry Pierre. We have 3 beautiful children, and 2 of our children are autistic, and so am I. And our other child has ADHD. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism in Black. Our organization started because of our oldest, Malia, who received her diagnosis at around 18 months. We saw that with our educational privilege and our financial privilege that we still had so many hoops we had to jump through to get her the diagnosis, to get culturally responsive care, that we said, basically, if it's this hard for us with all of these resources, how hard is it for those without? And we started Autism in Black. We wanted to support Black parents raising Black autistic children through education, empowerment. And we wanted to flip the game and go into organizations and train them on how to be less harmful to the Black disability community. And a part of that is our conference. And we are going into our third year of the conference, where this year's theme is Cultivating the Black Family Experience.
So let's talk about that, right? Obviously, you are going into year 3.
Mm-hmm.
I want, especially if you're a lifelong Lunch and Learn listener, you heard about this conference when we talked about it on day 1. If I could bring you back in time to you decided, hey, I got this crazy idea. I want to do a conference. And fast forward to now, is this what you pictured it be your third time around?
No, it's a lot bigger than what I have ever pictured. I think every year I am shocked at the response that we get. And I love it. It also makes me feel like we are really providing something to the community that is needed and is necessary. And we are providing such safe spaces to so many Black autistic individuals, to so many Black parents raising Black autistic individuals. And that, to me, is worth all of it.
What do you think has been some of your biggest successes? Obviously, we'll talk about, and I like how you kind of sugarcoated when you said, there were some hoops. Ladies and gentlemen, we were jumping through not only hoops, we were going through boulders. There were a couple mountains. It was extremely difficult on our journey. Mm-hmm. So as we move to year 3, getting ready for year 3 of the conference, Cultivating the Black Family Experience, what has been some of the biggest successes with the conference and just kind of, autism and Black in general?
I think the evolution of the conference currently, I like to say we're one of the few, but we may be the only Black autistic-led and Black neurodivergent-led conference. More than half of our speakers are either autistic or they fall under the neurodivergent umbrella with ADHD, speech impairment, many other things. So we are actually a conference that is talking about our lived experiences in addition to our professional experience. And I think that is what makes us different.
You kind of mentioned that, not obviously, Black neurodivergent led, obviously you're autistic yourself. Mm-hmm. Was it important for you to not only obviously lead by example, but have the people you come to speak at these conferences also be a part of that community? Was that something intentional, something you kind of fell into?
I think it has evolved over time. It was definitely something that we wanted to seek out in year 1, and we did better at it year 2, and year 3, we have gotten much better at it. So it's definitely something that was always the intent. And I think as our conference has evolved, more speakers see what we're doing and what we're attempting to do, and they are more attracted to speak at the conference. So we definitely have a higher number of Black autistics and Black neurodivergent individuals applying to speak at the conference. We had well over 100 proposals this year that our team had to go through to see who would be able to get one of the cultivated 15 spots. So we kind of upped it since then.
and like I said, because we're on year 3, was that something that was difficult to find on year 1? Or again, just kind of because of how successful it's been, you've got to this point where like now I'm having to fight off almost 70, 80 people to say, no, I'm sorry, you can't speak at this year's conference?
Year 1, we did have a lot of proposal submissions, but I also had a lot of networking relationships where individuals believed in the platform and they wanted to speak on the platform and at the conference. So we've definitely evolved for our speakers, and it's not so much of us seeking speakers. It's more of them coming to us now, which is a great thing because we're putting people on our platform that we believe in. We're putting people on our platform that people may not have heard of before, but they have something to contribute. And I think that is one of the pluses to our conference is that, we are having individuals where it may be their first time speaking, but the experience is there. They're getting the opportunity to share with the conference attendees something so important, because a lot of times people exclude us from being in these spaces to be able to speak on our experiences.
And taking the focus off those who are speaking and giving the presentations, what is it like for those who are coming to the conference? Like, what is that experience been like, especially from prior testimonials of those who have kind of sat in the audience and listened to some of the amazing words over these past couple of years?
So these are testimonies I've gotten from attendees and speakers who have sat in sessions that they weren't presenting. I have heard that we give a safe space to let your guard down, to be vulnerable, to be open and listen, opportunities to build your community, the opportunity to not mask in the situation and be completely who you are and be comfortable in that. That, this is something that they needed so much, and they felt so fulfilled after a weekend at the conference because they didn't realize how much they were missing out on that community support. So we have gotten, so much great feedback about our conference experience.
Now, obviously, this is a wrinkle that you actually kind of started from the beginning. But, when a lot of times when people hear conferences, they think destination. They think, all right, I got to, make hotel reservations and flight plans to get to a certain area to get to this conference. But since the beginning, you said, you know what, I want to do a virtual conference. Mm-hmm. I want people to be in the comfort of their own homes or at work or wherever they plan to watch the conference, listen to the conference, to be able to do so. Like, talk about that decision and how important that was for you.
It was a top priority for me. I know for us how much planning goes into when one of us has to leave, and we are a 2-parent home. It takes a lot to adjust our schedules and make sure that our home continues to run smoothly, and we still have hiccups when one of us leaves. And that is not something I wanted parents to have to concern themselves with. I also kept in mind the price of having to fly somewhere or travel somewhere, go to a hotel, and then also how our ticket prices would have to be even more expensive to take into consideration getting an event space and all that goes with it. So truly, it was many reasons that I really like having our conference virtual, but it's really to be so accessible to parents who may not have the ability to travel from destination to destination to get this important information. I tried to make it as accessible as possible, which is another reason why we give lifetime access to all of the conference sessions, the captioned sessions, because I know that I may not have time to sit throughout the whole conference, but I can go back and play the sessions as needed. So accessibility and access to the actual information is a top priority for us.
So, and we've been teasing at it. It's been a terribly kept secret, this whole podcast episode about the conference. Mm-hmm. Let's give the people some details. Like, when is the conference? Mm-hmm. How can they get, into this conference? And I want to pick your brain after you give us some information about probably some of the frequently asked questions you get surrounded. And when I say you, really be us, but whatever, right? Right? Like, I'm just here. I'm just an interviewer this week. What is the conference? Like, how can someone get registered for said conference and get able to, again, to kind of get their seat cushion, right?
So the conference is April 28th through the 30th of this month, this year, 2023. The 28th is our VIP day. That day consists of a private panel session with professionals. The VIP attendees get to speak to various professionals. We have pediatrician, we have therapists, we have different, people from different types of professions who will be sitting on this panel, and our VIPers get to actually take this time out and ask their burning questions to this panel of professionals. They also get a group session with me. And then on the 29th, we start the actual conference. We start at 8:30 and we go until 6 p.m. And that is both the 29th and 30th, that Saturday and Sunday. And we have back-to-back sessions. We are covering many topics this year. Of course, we are covering IEP information. We have a session on military families because it is such a difference for military families because of insurance and many other things. So we have a session on that, which I'm very excited about, especially myself being a military brat and having grown up with a parent who was in the Air Force. So I'm very excited about that session. We have a session that is on sex and the talk that you're giving to your kids and taking away those biases, especially when it comes to neurodivergent or disabled individuals having sex and thinking that they are not. So challenging those ableistic views. We have sessions on transitioning. We have an autistic adult panel session. We have our parenting panel session. You and I are doing a session on community. We have sessions on parenting from an autistic parent's perspective. We have a session on autism in the media and that representation and how we can really challenge what is being shown to people and give a more accurate representation. So we are covering so many topics. And then we also have our vault, which includes pre-recorded sessions. And we have a wonderful presentation on communication using assistive technology devices. So we're talking about AAC communication, which is something that I know a lot of people have been requesting. And it is something that we're able to get this year. So we're very happy about that session. So yeah, we're covering a lot this year.
So because like I said, remember, it's jam-packed, and remember everyone that you get lifetime access to these recordings.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you heard 8 to 6 and you're like, wow, I got to be at that conference. No.
Mm-hmm.
You have lifetime access to the recording. So you can miss a session. You can miss 2 sessions. You can miss half a day. It's not going to matter because you're going to get access to all of the recordings very shortly after the conference. So, for those who, because I know they be thinking they heard 8 to 6 and they're like, they start getting a little dizzy here. And obviously I know you probably get tons of questions, right? And y'all, remember y'all, like, I get the questions, right? So I know you get tons of questions, but what do you think are some of the more frequently asked questions that, again, this is your 3rd year going, that you're still having to answer to really kind of ease the minds of people who may be kind of on the fence of purchasing their ticket?
I think the most frequently asked question that we get is our conference just for Black parents? And I say it all the time that anyone can come to our conference. Anyone who is raising a Black autistic child, and anyone who is working with a Black autistic child in their family, or anyone who wants to know more to be an ally. However, understand that our content centers only the Black experience. We are Blackity Black. We center our experiences at our conference because our experiences are oftentimes not valued and diminished in other environments and under other circumstances. So at the Autism in Black Conference, anyone can come, but understand the content that you are receiving is centering Black autistic experiences.
All right, love to see it. And again, there from a ticket perspective, there's general admission, there's the VIP, there is the platinum experience as well. And for those who are, interested, and let's say they have a friend and family member, there's the opportunity to even sponsor tickets. So again, so many different opportunities to partake in such an amazing, beautiful conference that, like, I'd be remiss, especially for my Medicine Monday folks. Y'all know we've been rocking 2023 pretty solid as far as just it's just been me and you talking. But I say, all right, if I'm going to bring my guests back for 2023, obviously, who would be the best guest to bring back first? I think the answer was pretty obvious. But more importantly, the purpose and the reason is why the answer is obvious as well.
We do have the 3 ticket options this year. The platinum was a heavily requested option because as our organization has grown, I have stepped back from doing a lot of one-to-one services. My community was not very happy about that. So we did add that as a ticket option this year. So yes, we have our general admission tickets where you get access to the 29th and the 30th and all of the recorded caption sessions. We have our VIPers who get the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. And then our platinum VIP tier who get the 28th, 29th, and 30th. They also get a additional night session with me on Saturday night after the end of day 1. And then they also get a one-to-one coaching session with me that they can use for parent coaching, family coaching, or business coaching. So we did add that because it was heavily requested and we only have a few seats remaining for that option. So if you're interested, go ahead and make sure you secure that ticket option.
Definitely agree, y'all. Definitely, if you're interested and you wanted, that personal, because I'll be honest, y'all. I know someone's gonna hurt me out there. I'm part of the reason why she doesn't do that individual stuff no more. Y'all were keeping her way too busy from what she needed to do, how she needed to grow. And I said, hey, you know what? I know it's going to be tough, but I got to pull you away from over here. Mm-hmm. But she's been asking me, trust me, when she says heavily requested, she's been the one who's been kind of low key heavily requesting it. All right, how can I serve the individual again? Because again, I don't need to my own horn. She got her own CV. This is a person who speaks national conferences, is flown across the country all the time. So she doesn't have the time necessary to speak to that one-on-one. But guess what? We're giving people that opportunity now. So again, and the platinum spots are very limited, especially because if you want that business coaching call, not only do you get her, you get me as well. So we wanted to make sure, like, hey, we obviously we can't give this out to too many people. Those who take advantage, they take advantage, and they'll be well taken care of. But it was just want to be her gift to kind of give back to you guys, because we know you guys been asking for it, you guys been wanting it, and I say, all right, here you go. This is the opportunity to do so.
Exactly. And we have so many other bonuses that we will be announcing that every attendee will get. Our early bird ticket holders, they got access to last year's conference, and we have some other bonuses that everybody will get that we will be announcing soon. And guys, you really must get your tickets to the conference, because we have something special that we're announcing at the conference that you're not going to want to miss as well. We try hard every year to top the last year. And every year I say, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. But, the community is so supportive in knowing that they just want to feel that community yearly. They just want to have that space to go to yearly, where they know that they're going to learn a ton of information, but they're also going to have so much support throughout that. You know, we're using our Hoover app again this year. We got a lot of praise on our first year using that app last year. So we're bringing it back this year, and we're trying to do some new things within the app to make it more engaging again for you this year. So we have so much planned for everybody this year, and we're very excited. We're working very hard. We're very tired behind the scenes, but we want to bring, a one-of-a-kind conference experience to everyone. So we're very excited.
And where can people, before we let you go, where can people find you? Where can people follow you? And we already dropped the ticket info, but it will be in the description. YouTubers, podcast listeners, it will be in the description. But where can people also get the tickets?
You can go to www.autisminblack.org. /conference 2023, and that will take you directly to our conference site. You can go to our website if you can't remember that, just autisminblack.org, and there's an option there for you. You can follow me on Instagram. That's where I am most active at with the community, and I am Autism in Black on there as well. Also, you can listen to the Autism in Black podcast, which is a international charting podcast that we have as well. So we give out plenty of information on there, and many of our speakers from each year of the conference are on our podcast as well.
I love it. So again, guys, ladies, don't hesitate. Don't hit us up next month and be like, I wish I could have saw that conference live. Because it's an experience. Not to say that if you just get the replays, because the replays will be offered, it's not going to be an experience. But I think you just have to be there live, especially to experience it. If you have friends, if you have family members, someone who you know will definitely benefit from it, don't hesitate. Again, the link in the description will be in. The links will be in all the descriptions. So even if you're driving, taking a shower, whatever you're doing, you'll get a chance to check that out. And Maria, again, thank you for joining. Appreciate you every single time you join the conference. I'm enjoying the show. It's always a blessing, right?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We love it. We love you, right? Like it's a blessing to be here. And again, we just wish you all of the best of luck for the not first, not second, but the third annual conference of the Autism in Black.
Thank you. And also we are looking for sponsors for our conference as well.
Oh, yeah. So forgot that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, if you are a business, an organization who wants to sponsor something that is so needed and get a lot of our families off of this waiting list, we have different sponsorship tiers, and we also are accepting exhibitors as well this year. So make sure to go to our autisminblack.org/sponsorship page to find out more about that. But we do need some sponsors this year. So if that applies to you, please go to that page and let's work together.
I love it. And remember, it's for sponsors, because I know when you guys hear that, the Autism in Black Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So guess what? When you become a sponsor, you can write off on your taxes too, right? So you can't. There's almost no excuse anymore. Like
exactly, it's a win-win.
Win-win for everyone. Thank you again, Maria.
Thank you. If you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you can always be notified when a new episode drops. To get the resources shared on today's podcast and the show notes, make sure to go to autisminblack.org/podcast. And be sure to share your takeaways from the show on IG stories and Twitter using our official hashtag AIBPod so that we can find them and share them. And if you want to continue the conversation from today's episode, make sure to join our Autism in Black podcast Facebook community. And please make sure to answer the questions to gain entry. Thank you for listening and joining me this week. Have a good one.